Hello, Dua lovers! Welcome back. This is Masam Raza, aka Mr. Dua, with you, trying to cover another vaulted Creed recreation that we've just done. It's been in the works for a few years alongside vintage Tabrome, but it is Royal Scottish Lavender. Allegedly released in 1856. But this bottle here is from 2008 before it got vaulted. So this is the one we based our variation off. Very happy with the duo version that we're calling Imperial Scottish Lavender. You can see that color. I mean, that color is coming from a lavender tincture that we actually had to do because we couldn't figure out the kinds of lavenders that were used in here. Creed does market that it's some sort of a special lavender from some lord's gardens or whatever. Not sure about that part, but whatever lavender was being used in here, we tried various types of CO2 lavenders, steam distilled lavenders, and any aroma chems we can get our hands on. And we couldn't really match the lavender scent that's in the original. So we decided to get a little creative. We isolated the lavender molecule during tests, and then we broke that particular molecule down with the laser to try and capture more aromas of that and feed it to the mass spectrogram, hoping something registers. So the only lavender that actually registered through that process was a lavender that comes straight out of Grass, France. I believe it's farmed by Guerlain, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it's a lavender that's farmed by Guerlain. They do sell that openly to various manufacturers based in Grass, and our lab being in Grass, we were able to buy that lavender and then tincturize it ourselves. And we got very close to the lavender that's in here. I mean, this I believe is right there. It barely hits the 90% mark. There is a 10% deviation, obviously, because of that lavender, but that tincture that's used in here, very high quality. It's really good, and we tincturized it ourselves in our labs, and it worked really well. So let's spray it. I've already sprayed it, obviously, but let's spray for the camera. Royal Scottish Lavender. These old school Creed sprayers are like beast. Holy cow. So see, as soon as you spray it, you are immediately greeted with just beautiful lavender, but the bottle has gotten kind of old. I do have a flacon that's unopened. I'm gonna compare them side by side one day. But the lavender starts fading almost immediately, and then you're hit with the citruses as well. I believe there's bergamot, there's some lemon in here. Creed just classified it as citruses besides the bergamot, but I believe there's some lemon in here. It's and some Amalfi lime as well, the green one. So yellow lemon, green lime. There's definitely bergamot, and there was one more citrus that I cannot put my nose on right now. It's gone, but I'll pick it up in the duo version because the citruses are gone on that one. But there's one more that I can't remember. The lab report said there was one more citrus. I can't remember which one. It'll pop right now. So more lavender heavy, obviously, because Royal Scottish Lavender, Imperial Scottish Lavender, the lavender has gone up. It loses its opening lavender scent very quickly, the original at least. The Dua, the lavender is just right there, right? It's the same kind of lush lavender, has that semi-soapy vibe to it, just those calming effects. But the citrus is actually mandarin orange. I do pick up that mandarin orange bit. So there's 4 citruses in here: bergamot, green lime, Amalfi lime, lemon, the yellow one, and then there's the mandarin orange. The mandarin orange is the least player out of the 4 citruses that are in here. But that mandarin orange with that lavender, you can get the mandarin orange barely in the original, obviously, because the formula's dissipated a little bit, but it's barely there. But in the Dua, obviously, since it's fresh, ingredients are fresh, it's a fresher bottle, you get that mandarin orange just lying underneath the bed of lavender and just giving this subtle creaminess that's coming from the mandarin orange, and obviously the creaminess from the lavender, that soap vibe, and it just keeps it right in between those sharp citruses. So just a very well-rounded overall lavender accord with the citruses acting as support, with that mandarin orange helping out the creaminess from the lavender and just taking it through the mid, where you'll be getting some spices. I don't exactly remember what kind of spices they were. I do remember cinnamon was definitely one of them, and we actually had some tough time balancing the cinnamon with the lavender. That can be very tricky because we don't want the lavender becoming spicy, because it's not spicy in the original. Now it's just, they don't mention ambergris, but it's definitely there. 1,000,000% it's there in the original, so it's in the base in here too. It hasn't reached the full dry down here. This one already has, but overall, without going into the depth and details and what we changed around, what we had to tweak around, the kinds of lavenders, the tinctures, the cinnamon, the balancing acts and everything. If this is the original, this is the Dua, if just in the air, just more stronger, the Dua, which is in my right hand, just more stronger, that's the only way I am able to tell which is which, because one's not as strong, the other one's really strong with that lavender and those citrus notes and that herbaceous profile that it becomes with the spices. But it's a home run, absolutely gorgeous. I know there are a lot of fans for Royal Scottish Lavender. If you have tried Royal Scottish Lavender, or you own Royal Scottish Lavender, either a bottle or a flacon, or even a sample, and if you like that genre of a citric lavender with some spicy and herbaceous undertones with an aquatic-ish ambergris, if you like that scent, you will not go wrong with this one. The original is now trading at roughly like $15 to $16 to even $17 per ml. You can grab the Dua for like what, $50, $55 after even a 15% discount. So it's a heck of a deal, especially for experiencing something of this quality, right? Something from the late 1900s or whatever, something vaulted, something you can't get no more. So the duabrand.com, that's where you can get it. With that, let's give away this bottle of Royal Scottish Lavender. Go ahead and just subscribe, hit the bell icon, support the channel, and just leave a comment that you'd love to try this lavender fragrance, and we'll select one randomly and get them this bottle. Thank you. Enjoy the weekend. I love you guys.